peace, salam, salutations, whatever. I am Adam Ale, and this is
Sick the Governor.
And this is podcast called what? I guess I'll say the shit. Stuff. I guess I'll say it. But yeah. Episode 1, I guess I'll say it. We have 3 topics. Brittany Grinder and Young Thug, should he be free or not? And did Kendrick flop? I'll let y'all decide that one. So all right, let's get it popping. Right. Brittany Grinder. Can somebody put up her stats? I don't even think that's worth it, because right now she's trying. She don't care about MVP right now. She's trying to get out them fucking bars. So.
Yep.
She's detained in Russia with Vladimir Putin. This thing is political.
Very much.
Right? And you have our President Biden supposed to be trying to strike a deal to get her free, and a trade-off for what's his name? Victor Bout, or Bout, you pronounce it right? B-O-U-T, Bout. He's a gun, what is it? Gun salesman or something like that.
What do they call him? Merchant of death or something?
Merchant of death. Responsible for trading guns in Russia, parts of Asia, right. Africa, of course. They always want to see us killed off by any means necessary.
Right.
Trade-off. Brittany Grinder, another young gentleman for the gun salesman, or the gun. What's a good word for it?
Smuggler, runners, gun
smuggler. Y'all get what I'm talking about. Is it a fair trade-off? But before we get into that, is she rightfully? Is Russia right for in jailing her? Because you got to follow the rules of the land, right?
Right.
So she got caught with cannabis, a vapor that had cannabis substance in it.
Yeah.
She broke law. Now, when you look in depth into things, what is America? What is the world showing us? What is they telling us? You can break law, but you can't break law. I'm sorry, but if you're a celebrity or have a certain stature, it's cool to break law as an exception to the rule for you. Because what if you and I would have went over there and we were in the same scenario?
Yeah.
Would they give a damn about us? Hell
Depends,
no.
Yep.
Because the other guy over there, I believe he's a school teacher. Correct me if I'm wrong, audience.
Yeah.
He's been over there for 5 years, 6 years or something like that.
Yep.
So now that this WNBA star with some type of celebrity status or entertainment, right? Now it's a big deal. We don't want her in jail no more than 3 days, although she's been locked up for like 100 days or something like that.
Going on 3 months, yeah.
Yeah, and she said that the rats running across her feet and stuff like that. The conditions is unhumane. Right? Oh, welcome to prison. I never known a prison to have a vacation resort. Yeah. But anyway, sticking on topic. She broke the law in the country. She broke the law in Russia. Every country has different sets of rules, different penalties.
True.
Okay? And the people, I think we was texting each other not too long ago, and you was like, I sent you something from Fox News, but the lady was so biased. She wanted to sell the fact that the Russians are so evil and free this young lady and stuff like that. And free, shots out and prayers to Brittany's family. We want to see her home. We want to see her home safely. And we're going to play devil's advocate with this, because I want to get across our audience that when you break law, you got to suffer the consequences. But at the same time, are these consequences too extreme? To us it is, maybe to them it's not. So what's your view on it? Because she got caught with cannabis, she It went in her system. I don't think they checked the blood.
Right.
It was in her suitcase, and they cornered her like she was El Chapo and shit.
Right.
So what's your input on that before?
When you think about cannabis, when it comes down to cannabis, you go. I think it's not even too long ago, like in Thailand, people are getting executed for the same thing.
Seriously?
Yeah. So it's like certain Asian countries, they're very, very strong against any type of trafficking. Not too long ago, I remember reading about execution when it came to that. But when it comes to grinder, though, it's similar to like the same way that they do somebody they forgot to take their gun out their suitcase, like the athlete or the entertainer, and they going through the, trying to get through airport security. You get that type of situation. It kind of depends on who the person is. If it's an actor or athlete in the good standing of the public eye, we'll write this away. But if it's a guy that we find this guy to be he's too controversial, we just gonna throw this in the thing, and then we're gonna slow motion pics on him when we watch him walk. We're gonna slow motion pick on him when he talks, make him look evil, and then we talk. Oh, we found him with a loaded gun in the glove compartment. Or we found him with a loaded gun in his carry-on.
Make it more, right.
They try to make it like he's some type of a villain. You know what I mean? So it's similar with this though, but I kind of see it like they playing it another way when it comes to Brittany Griner though. It's like as if they trying to set it up like this is the opportunity to show that we once again have saved you. You see what I mean? So they putting her into this thing like, oh, she's into this thing, and I'm pretty sure that the deal is already in place as far as getting her, but now they're playing this out in the media this type of a way so that they can kind of show that Savior Joe came to the rescue and
sort of like how Obama did with Osama bin Laden.
Yeah,
could have been in court 10 years ago. That if you were still alive.
Right.
But we're gonna kill you so my presidency can be good. So when I do go for re-election, look how nice I am. Exactly. I'm the savior that comes on, come in a white horse to save the day. Here I come, Prince Charming, you know? I did something good for you, right?
Yep.
Where's, I want my black rope.
Right.
Sit one of your, and here's the thing too. What's the lettering for it? Because LGBTQ community. Yeah. How far do they stretch? Like, how far is their power? Because then you have Black Lives Matter. I believe they jumped in it. So, but they don't go in the international. Putin don't give a damn about none of that. Right. And my 18-year-old son said something that was very profound. He said, Dad, they don't care about, the LGBTQ community. If I'm pronouncing, forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. Or blacks. They don't really care, And if you left it to Putin, he'll have it locked up for the fullest extent of the law. 15 years for that little bit of cannabis. True.
Plus, there's a lot of political games to be played because it's a war going on.
They're doing business with what country they at war with?
Ukraine.
They're doing business with Ukraine. America's doing business with Ukraine. They're not doing business with Putin
right now.
Yeah.
So they say.
But Trump was his boy, and if Trump was president, she probably would have been free by now because it's all about political gain. It's not about.
Because see, Trump like to look like Mr. Big Man. Cause he like to look tough. So he was like, I told him that you got to come out here and you got to get him free or we'll bomb you. So then that's why they probably would have freed her. Playing them type of games, but at the same time, there's something you got to give for that though, because like say watching wrestling back in the day, right?
Well, yeah,
good guy and bad guy talk, right? It depends. The commentators, there's always two commentators. Yeah. So the bad guy commentator is gonna ignore the fact that the dude just put thumbs in the other dude's eyes. Oh, did you see that? I didn't see anything. What a dirty, but so the good guy comments, oh, it's a dirty move, what a dirty move. Yeah. So they're playing this game, but at the same time, the good guy and the bad guy commentator are really together because they're selling the whole story of this whole thing. And without the two of them selling it, you know what I mean, you don't really got too much to go.
At the end of the day, we want you to come home safe, home to your family. People make mistakes. In our eyesight, it was not a big deal. But we can't expect everyone from different cultures and countries to think like we do. And I think that's the biggest issue that this country had since it's been stolen. I'm sorry, since it's been established that they want everyone to think, believe, and feel as they do. You know, but
you gotta sell the story
from over here and you know the USA. Brittany, we pray that you come home free. I mean, we pray that you come home safe, and we pray that you know all is well with you, your health and everything else, and you know come on home. And real quick before we wrap this part up, how you feel about that trade, Brittany? The other gentleman, forgot your, you know, forgive us if we don't know your name.
Yeah.
And trading for Victor Booth. You know the what you call him, the gunman.
What gun runner, whatever.
Yeah. But what's his nickname? Something to death.
The death merchant or whatever.
The death merchant or something.
But yeah, I don't know. It's one of them type of deals that if it was a straight up if we was a military thing, and we was on this side and that side, it doesn't look like an even type of trade. Yeah,
intelligence for intelligence. I'm not calling Brittany. I'm not saying Brittany's not intelligent.
Right.
But you get what I'm saying.
From a if this was a war game, if we were playing a war game, and they're going to get this guy that can be a very powerful weapon for their side, it's not like you're getting something on. But you never know what the actual thing is because they're not fully telling who they're going to get.
Exactly.
And in a way, they're also telling us the things that they're really doing. Anytime that they admit these type of things that they're about to do these swaps this away, anytime in other news when they say, oh, you can't have no terrorists, don't make no trade for no terrorists, and they play that type of a game, and then they turn around and easily just discuss, we're going to take this doctor, pay attention to that part. I think that's the big thing to pay attention to.
Yeah, that's the big fugazi right there. Yeah, that's the big fugazi, man, because like I said, real quick, wrapping it up, if somebody kidnap a ball player that's about to go to the NBA in the neighborhood, and the kidnapper say, we want our number one hitter back. Right. This number one hitter done killed over 30 people in the past 2 years, right?
Right.
Would that be a logical trade to put something like that back on the street? Not saying that the ball player life is have any less value, but come on now, are we willing to sacrifice one life for the sake of others? Right. More people dying. Right. So that's wrapping it up on I Guess I'll Say It. As far as Brittany Grinder, we go to the next topic, and the next topic is dealing with Young Thug. Very similar, but it's more homegrown. And as far as Young Thug's RICO charge, and from what I heard, it's more people on the way of having cuffs put on him. He's just the beginning saga of more to come, right? I wonder if they're going to I'm waiting for somebody to fold and start snitching.
It's probably already started.
I was watching a little bit on,
I think that's it.
I was watching the trial on YouTube, right? Trying to get some understanding and knowledge of it. And they had some young guy that, took the stand in the favor of Young Thug. And,
right.
When you're dealing with, like, boosting their character up, telling, oh, this is a good person. He donated to this, you know. And it was a black judge. Mm-hmm. He was not trying to hit none of that.
That was like one of the music exec guys.
Yeah, Who was that?
I forget who. Like,
who was that, Cash? Can you look it up, please, real quick?
We can pull it up.
And Young Thug's case.
The first one? Yeah. The one that, I think it's like one of the music exec guys. It was like a...
He's known.
Yeah.
He's known.
Like either the label, the guy that run the label, one of the attorneys, run the music type
music
execs.
Does what now?
That
he testifies in Young Thug's favor. His behalf. But the judge was not trying to hit none of that. The young man took the stage, man. He came in there in his little 3-piece suit. He was well spoken. Very positive young man. We wish him a bright future. Kevin Lyles. Yep. He's not the one from Baltimore, is he?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Shout out to Kevin Lyles. The judge wasn't trying to hear that. See, the thing is with us, our people, we're guilty to proving innocent.
Automatically.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone else can shoot up a school, a supermarket.
Right.
And that's for another time, another podcast. You know, when people want to exchange gas for water, and you know, our people's always inventing beautiful things. You know, and all of a sudden this man get killed. The security guard gets murdered at a supermarket. Yeah. But that's another time, another story for another segment. Should Young Thug go free? This is how I look at it. If you're guilty, serve your time. But if you're not guilty, and this is some type of plot to bring you down out of fear of power and influence, then shame on you. And do we trust law enforcement? Do we trust our government? Do we trust the courts? And we know we are, you know, it's been several times that the courts have railroaded us and made us look like monsters and locked us up when we were innocent. Stacking evidence. Yeah, so it's like the young man said before he left. What do we believe, or do we believe anything anymore? So what's your stats on that? I know we're speaking ignorant about it because we don't have all the facts and stuff like that. But I'm just going by like how the demeanor of the court, like, all right, man, you know, get this Negro out of here.
Right, it's already a
we already made our decision. Let's get his ass up out of here. Right. You know. Okay, I get it. Yeah, you spoke highly about him and this, that, and the third. We just waiting for somebody to break and rat. You know what I'm saying? Or pretend to rat, because we learned a long time ago from what happened in New York. You're from New York, right, Cass? What was those young guys in the early 80s, late 80s? The
Central Park Six?
Yeah. How the media made them look like they were criminals and villains, and kind of found out they were innocent.
Actually, just released a seventh person. Released the seventh person who finally got released.
Finally?
Yeah, finally. I just saw
That's a long time.
So, once again, I'm not saying that he's innocent or guilty, but my view on it, I don't trust, my full trust is not in the police department or law enforcement or the criminal justice system. Right. It's not there. So, if he's guilty, if he's running havoc, and he's destroying his own community, put him away. Yeah. But if this is some type of conspiracy to break down a bigger picture that's in Atlanta, the city of Atlanta, ATL, shout out to y'all. If it's a move based out of fear, let's shame on the justice system once again. Shame on you. You know, let's go back to.
It's also connected to a cop getting killed by somebody connected to their organization.
Yeah, and the RICO law, if y'all understand anything about it, man, that's a fucked up law, man. When was that? In the 90s, right?
I believe it.
Right?
Clinton administration.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And people in the audience and the comment section, please correct us if we're wrong. From what I was told, the RICO law is like this. I commit a crime. And the fact that I made a phone call, you had nothing to do with what I'm doing. But the fact that I made a phone call, showed up at your house, and we went to Pat's Pizza or whatever, shout out to Pat's Pizza, to get a pizza, and we had a 15-minute conversation, has nothing to do with my organization, you're going down.
Right. Right.
You're going down.
Yeah, because now it's a criminal organization now.
Exactly.
It's turned into a whole thing now.
So what's your views on Young Thug? I know it's very limited and short time, but how do you feel about it?
I think that it could be true, it may not be true. People say there's a lot of talk both ways about it, but I think it's like a bigger picture. They're trying to break down. Atlanta has successfully built a lot of black millionaires.
Oh yeah.
In the entertainment industry, like basically built a black Hollywood. You know what I mean? So I have a feeling that there's some motivation towards breaking that down, because it's like they can't stand to see the confident black guy. They can't stand to see they see it as arrogance and they hate it, but they love to see it like let's go to sports, for example. You go to like football, when you had the Deion Sanders, when they would score and they had their celebrations and such, dancing and such. Oh, this is horrible for the game. Terrible.
Bad taste.
Terrible, bad taste. Now we can fast forward it to now. You see the guys like the Travis Kelce's. When they go into the end zone, they doing the same dances and all. Oh, that's celebrated, highly celebrated. Oh, look at the swagger that he brings to the game. So this is the game that they're playing with us, because it's good for them to do it. They've adopted a lot of the slogans, everything from haters. You see people on the regular news now. They basically just saying every single one of the things, all the little things. They've taken over a lot of the vernacular, a lot of the code, a lot of the dress code, a lot of the little different things that they would say that we were wrong to do, we can't do, we're not supposed to do that. They've adopted it, and now they're claiming it as their own.
I always say, give something 100 years from now. What's not cool will be cool.
Yeah.
And what's cool would not be cool.
Always.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think we spoke on this too in the text, and this is heavy too, because when you're dealing with media, when you're dealing with it's all a popularity case. What people gravitate to. What's enticing? What's news? Same thing could be going on over there. We don't care because it's not going to gravitate enough views or concern for people. Remember I said, is hip hop the only genre where they use the lyrics against them in court? True. Is hip hop the only genre that promotes crime, drugs, and murder? And then, I looked up something, what was it? Heavy metal. It was another genre that's in rock and roll as well. And hell, country music promotes crime.
Like what?
It promotes stuff like adultery. It promotes stuff, fornication. It promotes suicide. It promotes everything that quote unquote drill music promotes. Right?
But not, yeah.
Why is that not being highlighted? Right? But something that we created is being highlighted, and not only highlighted, but controlled.
Right.
We're the only ones that's been told that you can be an artist, you got to stop being an artist at a certain age. We're the only ones you got to say this in order to be successful. Do this, dress this way. You know what I'm saying, to be successful. We're the only ones that in our genre we created something so profound and beautiful that's controlled. You don't hear nothing about rock and roll, country music. And they do the same thing. It's just not highlighted. It's not focused on. You understand? I'm sure somebody give me a country singer. I'm sure he done talked about getting high.
Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. I'm sure Garth, whatever his name is, promote about all types of, and he may not. I'm just saying in general. I'm sure somebody promoted from that genre stuff that people talk about in hip hop. Right. Drake talk about getting his heart broke all the time, and how he broke hearts and getting his heart broke. That's in country music, right?
Yeah, broken hearted, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Cheating wives,
cheating
girls,
gangster type shit, right?
Right, but not quite on that level.
I saw my wife and she was cheating, and I cooked the revolver and shot them both dead. I don't know. But that MF is not in court and having and let's keep it real. Let's keep it funky.
Unless it's like,
we the only ones that break law?
Yeah, but see, I don't think it's that at all. I think it's that. But I also think it's another way too, though, because say a lot of the young artists kind of get driven that they gotta come out a certain way. You gotta be the most violent in a way. It's like this whole thing has turned another way. You know what I mean? Like say versus other genres where it's about it's a guitar player and they'll talk about that. It's not like say skill level for one. Like say back in the 80s, 90s, you hear people, they would have songs about their skills, and that would be something that they would do.
Or conscious music.
Right, or just about different topics or things like that. But now, to get in that top mainstream in a way, it's almost like you got to fit this mold. And it kind of, I guess the different genres got their different ways. I'm sure rock people complain about that for certain ways that they
because if you look at it from a mental standpoint, we're going to end on this. Would I be more frightened to go to a rock concert or more scared to go to a hip-hop concert?
It depends on what type of rock.
You know?
If it was
They getting shot up at rock concerts and shit like that, or what happened to Travis Scott. They're gonna happen at a rock concert.
Now remember they did have that. Remember they had that type of a thing back in the the 80s when rock was the very popular thing, and they had what they call a satanic panic or something like that. They had going.
Yeah, but it's not at the level.
It was kind of like on there. It was like a big scare that was going around. Oh, you tell the children don't listen to rock music. It's gonna mess them up. Satan's gonna get them.
So look how they saw them boy though.
Yeah, but then again, and it was similar to the way when Travis Scott, that whole incident just went down.
But look how they highlight his shit. Look how they blackballed him. Was these guys blackballed? But that's another topic for another time.
But that was, I guess, a different, yeah. But I think the whole blackballing, you're right, because think about the way that they blackballed. Remember Bobby Brown? Remember when he was coming out? Oh, his shows are too raunchy, and they was over there arresting him.
Same scenario with R. Kelly and what's his name?
Two Live Crew.
What's his name? R. Kelly and what's that guy that was selling little girls and boys to Trump? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
certain
Epstein, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the thing.
So
that's the thing.
What's good for the gander is not always good for the goose when it comes down to this.
Exactly.
So we go to the last topic on I Guess I'll Say It. This is your host Adam Ale. And
because the governor.
And we talking about Kendrick Lamar. How do we respect rap music? The artist took him 5 years to come out with this album, and how I look at things, because I'm like a speed demon. And the only reason why my albums or projects take long as they do is I don't have the funding or the money to be jumping the studios all the fucking time, or I'll be making albums in 2 fucking weeks. So, take you 5 years. Then when you listen to it, first thing you say, damn, it took you 5 years to produce this? And it's a great album. It's dealing with like personal issues.
That's why.
You understand? And no one wants to hear that now these days, because we just talked about filters and people being fake, and I think all that is to hide from reality. You understand? So Kendrick Lamar album's not gonna take to the masses like it should, although he's a mainstream artist. Damn took to the masses real well. Damn did good in numbers. This one that he came out with, this latest one, what is it? Big Steppers, didn't do as well as Damn, because Kendrick was dealing with, he was expressing what I've been going through in the last 5 years, and it's very personal.
Emotional.
It's very emotional. So a lot of people, he probably lost a few fans from this album. Because they was expecting Pimp a Butterfly or Rihanna Damn.
Yeah.
You got a therapy session.
Yep. That's
my mother was abused, I was abused, my auntie's really a man. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
No one wants to bump that in their car.
But yeah.
So, by you being a producer / MC, the energy, the time it takes in making a project, all that, and our time frame probably, I'm just estimating 6 months to a year. The energy and time it takes for you to do a project, and for it to be out, and people listen to it, and then tomorrow is forgotten about.
True.
So how do you feel about that?
I think what he's doing actually is genius in a way, because it took him 5 years, so he drops an emotional album after a very emotional time for people. So it's one of them slow things that I think that he's setting it up for him to slowly use that, the momentum, whatever he plans to do next. Because I think it's a lot, because I notice how he's getting like stories. People's talking about how that security dude was crying.
I seen that clip.
So things like that.
That's his last album on Top Dog too.
Yeah, so I have a feeling that that's what I think that what he's setting himself up is to not only to elevate above just being the artist level. He's putting himself up in that other level. So that's what this purpose is, really, more so than it is for to sell the albums and to be the flop or not. So I think that's what he's really doing. Similar to what Drake did. and everybody was getting on Drake for his album.
Well, that last album was god awful, man.
That's what they say. But
really
Drake's ahead of
to.
himself. Drake ahead of himself.
Yeah.
He's ahead of the time. So when everybody catches up to what Drake was doing, then they're gonna look back later on.
Sort of like Kanye.
Exactly.
What was that album he came out with real quick, Cash? Anybody can help me, go?
I can't remember.
808 Heartbreak?
Yes. Everybody was used to college dropout, late
Mm-hmm.
registration. And when 808 Heartbreaks came out, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And then after
now everybody start.
Yeah.
Then the Kid Cudi's came in.
Yeah.
And then those artists to follow that.
And that made it
Travis
bigger.
Scotts and stuff like that.
Rose it. Yeah. Then that elevated the level. So watch what happens with Kendrick. I think he has it set up for a much longer growth. It's gonna be much bigger versus the big pop. He's not going for the instant pop.
Yeah.
So I think he's going for that residual, that long term, and then it's like a big mountain. Like, whoa, this album actually got big, like surprising, because it's going to be one of them type of things that people are going to think about and build their concepts as they grow.
No, real quick, do we as artists, the producers, that's not on the level of Kendrick right now, do we do music for us? Remember, we should do music for the fans. When somebody start rhyming, I want them to know that I'm nice. Every artist want that feedback. Am I lying, Cass?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No one wants to hear they whack unless they have a spirit in themselves like, okay, I'm going to show y'all. You understand what I'm saying? But every artist wants to be loved, right? So, from our standpoint, do we, in this point in our lives, in our careers, do we make music for ourselves and say F the fans in a sense? The fans are going to have their own view. They're going to love it or hate it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel a certain way when I make music. And like I had, I made CV19 last year. I let people hear it, and it's more like, yo, that's dope. That's good. That's all right. And then you don't hear nothing else about it. Like, damn, is there any song that resonate with you that say a verse you're crying out loud?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. See that?
Reshare my song or something like that. It's like, now get to the point where you like, I'm just doing music for me, and I'm gonna present it to the world. You like it, you don't, but it's for me.
Right.
It's my therapy.
That goes into the whole art of selling it. Right. That we don't know, that we're not fully adept. See, the same way that Kendrick had to get people into him eventually. You see what I mean? And it got to the point where he was consistent with it, and he kept dropping what he was dropping. That's why, back to the question, do you make the music for yourself or for the fans? He had to get to a point where it was for himself, because the fans that he probably was hearing are not fans yet, but he probably was seeing critics early on. Oh, he don't do like such. His voice sound like such and such, but I don't know why he got to do it like this. Why keep switching his beats for? They probably doing whatever they say.
Why can't he be safe like J. Cole?
Why can't he just do like yeah? So then the thing is, he had to cut that off and make it for himself. But at the same time, here's the thing: what the secret is, there's other people like him that resonate with him. So when he's true to himself, the people that's like him,
they're gonna appreciate it.
They're gonna pick that up.
There's a song on there real quick says, I can't please everybody.
Right.
So wrapping it up, you can't please everybody.
Right.
And this is a segment of I Guess I'll Say It with your host Adam Ale and host
Sick of the Governor.
And we'll be wrapping it up, and see us next time. Salute, salams, peace, salutations. Everybody out there, drive safe. Everybody love one another, respect one another. If you don't love the person, at least respect them. That's all we ask for. Peace, love, chicken grease in the Middle East. Don't forget to donate, follow, and the subscription, music, beats, videos. It's all in the subscription. Press the like button. Also, we love to hear from your opinion or your facts. We love to hear from your comments. Whatever we can improve on in the show, please jot it down in the comments. You'll get our feedback. And once again, we appreciate you tuning in to I Guess I'll Say It. Peace. It'll get better.